So hey everyone, and welcome back to the video. So this year, I'm gonna share with you um what I think helps your user. And it's not by having 20,000 aims or using 10,000 aims, even 5,000, 1,000. You can implement this with say 20 aims in your user or your eBay accounts. You may not use if you only have that few aims, but in an eBay account when you're young, or you can implement it if you have an eBay store, say 20,000 listings. But the more listings you have, the less choosy you can be with your inventory. Though, so this may not apply to you, but but the aims you do get, you can implement the same strategy and aims you get, even if you have say 20,000 listings. You're not super picky with what you pick up, but maybe you can get a little bit more sales in your store. So it depends on the type of item you're selling. Sure, it depends on the type of item you're selling. I don't mean like all sell clothing, shoes, and accessories. Just niche down to a certain category like that, or niche down to collectibles, or niche down to say small engine parts, or niche down to say books, or media like CDs, say CDs, records, cassette tapes. Maybe you can even include DVDs in there, DVDs and Blu-rays, and VHS tapes in there. Maybe record, like all that type of media. Maybe you only sell sports cards. Maybe you only sell books. Like, I don't mean like a niche like that. I mean, what type of item you're selling? Is it type of item you're selling? It's actually selling eBay. Like you could sell and say have a Starbucks mug on eBay, and there's say 10 of them that sold last days on eBay, and say brand new it sold for say $20 plus shipping. Say USPS pretty much shipping, but used, let's say the average only goes for say $10 plus shipping. So that's realistic at $10 plus shipping. But maybe on the high end, you could maybe let sit a little bit. If you really want to sit a little long in your store and really hold out, you can get say $15 plus shipping. Or if you really want to sell it really quick, you can get $5 plus shipping. Say for it, but you want to get the most money you can. Let's still selling it decently fast. So you price it $10 plus shipping, it sells. And then say you list say another item, and the brand might not sell well as that specific brand. But you can put that brand in the title, put all the keywords. Like if someone's looking for that brand, it would pop up. But it would also pop up. You can like put in the item specifics. You can put brand unbranded, and it will sell. And it could sell. But you might, if that brand actually sold over, maybe the price at say $9.99 plus shipping. But because you sold it unbranded, you had to, in order to move it a little bit, someone might have just bought it unbranded for say $5 plus shipping. Someone might have sold it say as that brand one. Someone might have, but most of the time, you probably just bought it as an unbranded one. So yeah. And it all really depends on what you're selling. And also it depends on their photos. Are your photos good? Do you have good quality photos? I don't mean like stock photos. I don't mean like perfectly clear white background or colored background. Like black backgrounds, white backgrounds to like pop your photo. I don't mean that. I just mean even if you have this person has like a table and like thing on the back. be as like act as like a backdrop. Like yeah, you could do that, and that would work out well. Like you could have say like a little something you put on underneath the M's, like, and do it that way, or put on the floor, and so that way. But at least make sure if you're gonna say put on the floor or put something on, make sure it's at least clean. Or sometimes they see sellers put on your bed, and you see the bed's messy, or you see like the floor is super kind of dirty around it. And it's like, do you really want to? Or the picture's like extremely blurry. Because if a picture's extremely blurry, people might not even ask. Like, people will just click out the or if they see like messy bed or floor is dirty in the first picture, or if they see it dirty or messy in another picture, they won't even buy it. They won't do it with you. Any of those things. They just go to another seller and buy it from them. They might spend more money, but they'll get a little bit better item. Or also, it all depends on that too. And then, but I mean, if people really want to grow your store though, you can't be choosing tips in your selling. Like you can sell, say, I mean, and then, but me, I don't have like, I had like a almost 100% sell through rate in my store. This was like 260 items. I had like 260 items in my store, and I had like 260 sold almost. But now I have only 230 some items sold. And mainly though, it also depends on what if like you're good. If you say the items that say me that sell through rate really go up, and you have a hard time finding the items or those items sold really quickly, you got a dish tag into. That's kind of like a fluke that I pick one up, because I never pick one up, never seen it on shelves. That's the first time I've seen one at an online auction or in-person auction to sell online. So it's like, really? Do you really want to pick that up? No. I mean, yes, you do want to pick those one-off items up that you see. But do others want to pick it up? Possibly no. Yeah, it's like that dish tailgate in town. Picked up for $3 minimum bid plus fees and tax. So I paid like almost $3.50 for it, $3.50 for it. But that's like a steal, because I still made like pretty good profit on it, and I didn't even test the items. They're untested as items. Set the remotes. I know they were working. But use remotes, but otherwise, they're pretty much untested. And also, don't be afraid to sell items with flaws, because you can sell items with flaws and still make money on them. Like I have a cowboy book. It's a little Whitman book. Cowboy Dan or Jack or something. I can't remember. But honestly, that book, if I had it right, and like there's a little bit of the pages ripped off, missing, and there's a little bit of ripped page. If it was in mint shape, better shape, I could even acceptable condition whereas the page is complete. Better shape, I could get say probably $19.99 to $24.99 plus shipping on it pretty easily. Best price by down to $9.99 plus shipping, and it will sell eventually, probably, but it might take a little while to sell because it is kind of pretty flawed. Or you can say sell, So I mean, you can always find ways to sell your items faster, like or make more money, like signs with flaws. Like, don't be afraid to, like for example, if you have items that are you can counter offer and people on eBay, and I always do that. I always say like I'll do say I have an item listed for say $10 free shipping, or say $10 plus shipping, and say someone offer me say $5, I don't know, say this is the lowest thing was say $8 plus shipping, and then people will be like, well, this is the lowest thing goes, cool, well, I'm going to take it then. And then there's times where if the lowest thing was say $8 plus shipping, so then they'll buy for $8 plus shipping. Or there's times, and sometimes there's times where they're like, I'm gonna re-offer, I'm gonna re-counter, I'm trying to get as low as I can go, and then if I have to take it for $8 plus shipping, I will. Or if I can go even lower, I'll take it. Or I just will flat out decline because I don't want to get it for the price I want to pay. And even if I have a fair, reasonable counter offer, it's still like say I'm me in the middle. Like I've done that right. I'm me in the middle. Buyers take that, or a lot of times, or sometimes they won't even take it all in a bit. I want to pay exactly what I want to pay. Pretty much on decline. So sometimes you have buyers like that don't just want to get for what they want to get for, but if it's selling like right away, I won't do that. But the time that's been saying for a while, like honestly, or not even that. You don't know when it's gonna sell. Like it's a specialty. Maybe it's rare, or maybe it's name like say a postcard for a specific city. Like you don't know what it's gonna sell. So it really depends on like what the buyers want to pay for it. Say. So, or like here in Calgary, there's really those auctions, or maybe such low value. So you kind of have to take account of that. If you sell like a ton of items, like build up that feedback, or have it times listed to say, supplement your say sports cards are only worth say on average $5 plus EBC shipping. Maybe you can have some higher ones, you can have a bunch of lower ones, and some in between, and sell like have like ton of listings, and sell a ton every day, but make a good bit of money every day. So it really just depends on what you're selling. Are you selling good quality on eBay that will sell? Or are you selling a good quality that will sell, but might take a little bit to sell? As say that brand, or say as unbranded, like where people search as like a generic brand, search for it as say like qualities of the name, not specifically for that brand, but also like because it's cheaper. It's cheap and it's like within their price point they want to spend, or they don't care what brand they have, so. Or sometimes, it might be rare, it might take less, so. Or sometimes it might be a dog item. I've had items, or I've had items, or sometimes it might be just a good item, but it takes less. So I've had sometimes where it's a good quality item, but there's say 10 solds of it when I listed on eBay, and say there's 5 people have it listed, and say there's been 20 solds on it in the last say 90 days. Mine might take say 4 or 5 months to sell, and even though I price might add a good title, good photos, good description, good name specifics, fair price, fair competitive price, fair selling price to what it's sold for in the market for that item, for whatever condition your item is in, new or used, and for some reason it just doesn't sell, so I've had that happen as well. And I've also, or your item just could be dog, like not the greatest item, but I mean when you're young and an eBay seller, you can not pick that item up, but more items if you want a lot of items in your store, Like, I kind of want to get a bunch of items in my store. Like, I kind of want like 1,000 items store. But just know, like, if you get 1,000 items store, 2,000 items store, you to get 1% of daily sales, you have to sell 20 a day, and you might be able to sell 20 a day, but also you might have to sell less than 20 a day because of the fact that your store is gonna your sell-through rate might drop to say only say 15 a day, and you have 2,000 items because the buyer pool stays the same on eBay, but because there's only like 135 million buyers on eBay that have used eBay in like maybe last year or so. And then so you might be say, fighting. There's like say 135 million buyers on eBay in the last year about him, but in that buyer pool hasn't. I mean, it might increase during like Q4, quarter four, fourth quarter, might drop during like the summertime, but you're fighting for that same buyer pool, and the more names you list, more your sell-through rate might drop a little bit, just because of the fact that you have like more names but the same amount of buyers are willing to buy your item, or you might actually sell a little more because you have more brands or more type stuff, more brands or more variety. People might come back and buy your stuff as well. So who knows? So, anyways, just remember, if you have just remember, have good quality items on your eBay store that people are willing to buy and willing to pay for, and willing to buy that will sell. Make sure they have at least have sales on eBay in less than 80 days. That would be the most ideal. But also, if there's not many on eBay, unless say hasn't been hardly any on eBay that sold, or hardly any that have sold, or hardly any that have been listed on eBay, even, then it might take a while, and but I would still list those names and, say, like a 2, say, sold. Say there's 10 listed and say 3 sold. I would still list that name, say there's 10 listed and say 3 sold. Just because it'll eventually sell. It might just take a while. But then the end, say there's been 100 listed and 30, say 50 listed and say 30 sold. Then, yours will sell. If you have these price rate, which yours should be one to say 30 that's sold, and if you did a good title, good photos, good item specifics, good description, fair price, and if you do all that, on a good quality, it'll sell pretty quickly, most of the time. And then if you have a dog game, you still do the same thing. Yours might sell quickly, or yours might sit for a little bit, who knows? Or if it's a social game, But just make sure you have the best tail, best photos, best name specifics you can for that item. Or if it's an item that doesn't sell well for that specific brand, but sells well in maybe other brands or as unbranded items, then maybe just list as a brand and kind of cheat the system and make the sale that way. So you gotta do whatever you can to make the sales, because we're not storage units. We don't want to be storage units, if we end up being storage units because we grow our stores or stuff like that, as long as we're making sales, or if we're a storage unit and we're making sales, and we have a ton list, lots and lots of items listed on eBay, you're still making a good bit of sales every day. And maybe that's a little different, but if you're a storage unit, say 5,000 listings, and you only sell, say, 500 less 90 days, 10% of your store. Say, like, you sell, say, 5,000 lists, but you're only selling, say, 250 items. Then maybe not so willingly, or maybe you want to increase it to, say, 1,000 listed, and say then increase it to, say, 7,500, and say 500, or maybe say 10,000, say 1,000, and increase it so it, you're like that. So, but anyways, until next time, take care, bye.